Hello everyone and welcome to another Pokemon type swap video. It's been way too long since I've done one of these, so I figured it was time to give the series a little revive and add a brand new episode. I'll leave a link in the description to the rest of the series if you want to watch them and see what other designs I've done in the past. We're going to be doing 3 type swaps in today's video, so without any further ado, let's begin. So for our first type swap, we're going to be doing a Palo Sand into a Poison Ground type. My idea for this type swap is what if the ocean got so polluted that it started to infect the sand too? Which is a little dark, but we'll roll with it anyway. The first thing I did was make it look like it was throwing up water, like it's really sick. Then I added some dead fish to show just how polluted this Pokemon has become. I also added a net around the spade at the top of its head and an empty can holder, can packet, you see what it is. I made it taller to seem more intimidating and gave it sharper edges around the windows and its arms and head. The shells over its eyes are meant to look like armour it's built up in order to protect others from the pollution as well as it can, while also making it look more threatening. Speaking of its eyes, while original Palo Sand's pupils just look like little white orbs, I decided to make my type swap version's eyes look like fish souls. The bones imply that regular fish live in the Pokemon world, which actually may be true, but for the sake of consistency, let's just say they're really small Magikarp. I made the colours much darker and drearier than regular Palo Sand to go along with its more intimidating vibe and colouring the water a sickly green. And here is my final Poison Ground Palo Sand. I quite like the concept I made for it, but I maybe could have made it drip more or show more signs of pollution, but I'm still pretty happy with it. Reuniclus is our next type swap for today's video. The idea I had was to make it an electric fighting type that harnesses electricity to turn into powerful punches. I turned the little ear things into lightning bolts and made the body a lightning bolt shape too. I added extra spikes around the ears and turned the open fingers into fists instead. And in those fists it's holding 2 orbs of electricity, like it's charging up its power ready to unleash it. As basic as it is, I made the main body colour a bright yellow, but for the surrounding colour I made it a nice light blue because, let's be honest, blue electricity is just cool. For all the patterns and little accent features, I chose a deeper blue to complement the rest of the colour scheme. I also left the edges of the fingers exposed to kind of make it look like fingerless gloves to bring in more of the fighting aspect into the design. And here is the final design. I think the fighting part got a little lost along the way, but I still like the idea I came up with and I hope you do too. I really love Reuniclus and I always have, so it was fun to see how I could mess with the design for this type swap. And for the final swap of this video, we'll be using Buizel. The first thing I did was try to make it look sharper and angrier by removing the rounded edges of the ears and giving it long claws and a sharp fang. I made the fins a much harsher shape and added more markings around the body. For the colours, I made the main body colour a dark blue with white markings. I also added more of those little black stripes that Buizel only really has on its face, because I like the way they looked. The fin and paw pad colour I made a greeny, bluey, turquoise-ish, because I thought it would contrast nicely with the dark body colour I gave it. I also originally made the tail tips that same colour, but I changed it to black later. I tried a different shading style for this one, which I probably won't do again, but it was fun to experiment with it. And here is my final design. For the type, I'm honestly not really sure. I was between water dark or water poison, and honestly I could see an argument for both. Let me know in the comments which one you think it suits more. And here are all the type swaps I've done in today's video. If you have any suggestions for my future type swap videos, please put them down in the comments and I'm more than happy to take a crack at them eventually. Please remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you later.